The journey of life is filled with ups and downs, and all of us, at some point, face situations that test our strength, resilience, and our ability to move forward. Picture yourself in one of these moments, perhaps the most challenging of all, where it seems all lights have gone out, and you find yourself in what many call rock bottom. This place is not just a metaphor to describe a bad phase. It is a palpable reality for many, a state of mind where hope seems like a distant memory and happiness an unreachable dream. But what does it truly mean to be at rock bottom? For some, it might be the loss of a job, the end of a significant relationship, financial hardships, or even a mental health crisis. Regardless of the cause, rock bottom has one common feature. It is a turning point, a moment of critical decision where the choice is between remaining in the darkness or finding a way to climb back to the light. Escaping this abyss is not a journey that happens overnight. It is a process, one step at a time, and it starts with the acknowledgement that, although we cannot control everything that happens to us, we have the power to control how we respond to adversities. The first step is to accept the current situation without judgment. Acceptance does not mean compliance or resignation, but rather an understanding that it is from this point that change can begin. Each of us carries within a unique story, full of chapters of joys, sorrows, victories, and defeats. At times, these chapters lead us to crossroads where it seems all roads are blocked, where the light at the end of the tunnel is merely a distant illusion. It is at this exact point, my friends, that the true journey begins. Not a journey of despair, but one of discovery, a journey where every obstacle becomes a step towards a new understanding of oneself and the world around us. Opening paths is not just about finding a way out. It's about recognizing that, as difficult as the situation may be, within each of us exists a strength capable of transforming challenges into opportunities. Imagine for a moment that you are facing a huge wall, a barrier that seems insurmountable. The initial feeling might be of dismay, of powerlessness. But what would happen if, instead of focusing on the enormity of the wall, you began to look for a door, a window, any opening that could be the start of a new path? This is the spirit of opening paths. It's understanding that sometimes the way forward is not clear not because it doesn't exist, but because we have yet to learn to see it. Learning to see, in this context, goes far beyond physical vision. It's about opening the eyes of the mind and heart, cultivating the ability to see beyond appearances, to perceive the possibilities hidden behind obstacles. Opening paths is also a matter of choice. Faced with rock bottom, we have two options: to resign ourselves to our situation, or to make the conscious decision to seek a way out. This choice, as simple as it may seem, is what defines the direction of our journey. Choosing to seek a way out is the first step towards turning the impossible into possible. In this process, it's crucial not only to trust in our ability to overcome challenges, but also to be open to receiving help. Often, paths open up before us through the extended hands of others. Whether a friend, a family member, or even a stranger, help can come from where we least expect it. Recognizing and accepting this help is an essential part of opening new paths. Opening paths is about courage. The courage to face the unknown, to take the first step even when you cannot see the entire staircase. To believe that each step leads us not just out of the pit, but towards a stronger and more resilient version of ourselves. It is this courage that allows us to transform the darkness of rock bottom into a starting point for a new story of overcoming and growth. Remember, each of us has within the power to open paths where before there were only barriers. The key to unlocking this power, the choice to not define ourselves by circumstances but by the ability to transcend them. At rock bottom, surrounded by shadows that seem to swallow any spark of light, we often ask ourselves, how did I get here? This question, loaded with perplexity and anguish, is the starting point for a journey of introspection and understanding. Understanding the causes that led us to this point is crucial, not as an exercise in self-judgment, but as an essential step towards building a new path back to the surface where light shines. Our lives are woven by a complex tapestry of experiences, choices, reactions, and interactions. In times of difficulty, it's tempting to search for a single cause, a single moment of failure or wrong decision that brought us to rock bottom. However, reality is often more complex. The causes are multiple, interconnected, and sometimes deeply rooted in patterns of behavior and thought that we have cultivated over years. One of the most common causes for reaching this state of desolation is loss. Loss of loved ones, of a significant relationship, of a job, or of an opportunity that seemed to be the answer to all problems. Each loss carries with it an emotional weight that, if not properly processed, can drag us down to depths where the light of hope seems unreachable. Another factor contributing to this descent into the abyss is isolation. In an increasingly connected world, paradoxically, many of us feel isolated, disconnected from those around us. This isolation is not just physical, it's emotional and psychological. It prevents us from sharing our struggles, seeking help, feeling that we belong to a community that can support us and help us find the way out. Moreover, the fear of failure, rejection, or even success can paralyze us. It's a fear that tells us it's safer not to try, not to take risks, because then we won't face the pain of loss or disappointment. However, this fear keeps us trapped, preventing us from taking the necessary actions to change our situation. Understanding these causes is not an easy task. It requires courage to look within oneself, to recognize the wounds, face the fears, and accept that, although we cannot change the past, we have the power to influence our future. This process of understanding is the first step to untie the knots that bind us, to find points of light among the shadows, and begin tracing the path back to the surface. It's a reminder that, although we may not have control over everything that happens to us, we have the ability to choose how to respond, how to grow, and how to rebuild ourselves, even from rock bottom. Amid life's turbulences, when we find ourselves lost in the shadows of rock bottom, a beacon of hope emerges that can guide us back to the surface: self-awareness. This concept, as essential as it is powerful, is the key to understanding not just where we are, but how we got here, and most importantly, how we can find our way back to the light. Self-awareness is the mirror that allows us to look within ourselves, beyond the masks we often wear to face the world. It's an invitation to an internal journey, where we confront our deepest truths, our fears, desires, and the beliefs that shape our perception of reality. As we become more aware of ourselves, we gain clarity on our thought patterns and behaviors, many of which may have contributed to our current state. Imagine for a moment that each thought, each emotion we experience is a drop of water in a vast ocean. Without self-awareness, we are simply carried away by the currents of this ocean, at the mercy of storms and calms. But by cultivating self-awareness, we build a lighthouse in this ocean, a sturdy structure that allows us to observe the currents, understand their origins, and, with time and practice, learn to navigate with more skill and purpose. The importance of self-awareness transcends mere self-understanding. It empowers us to make choices more aligned with who we truly are and who we want to be. In moments of challenge, when the way forward seems uncertain, self-awareness offers us the opportunity to pause, breathe, and choose a response instead of reacting impulsively. It allows us to see the difference between what we cannot change and the areas where we have the power to act and transform our reality. Moreover, self-awareness is fundamental for building healthier and more authentic relationships. By understanding ourselves better, we can communicate our needs, boundaries, and desires more clearly, building bridges of understanding and empathy with those around us. It's as if by knowing our internal territory better, we become more adept at navigating the external world. The journey towards self-awareness is a journey of empowerment. It teaches us that even in the darkest moments, we have within us the light necessary to find the way back. It's not an easy task, nor is it always comfortable, but it's profoundly transformative. Cultivating self-awareness is opening the doors to a life of greater purpose, meaning, and fundamentally, greater freedom. On the trail of life, it's common to encounter obstacles that seem to trap us in a continuous cycle of challenges and adversities. These negative cycles often act as true traps, keeping us stuck in thought and behavior patterns that increasingly distance us from our goals and dreams. Breaking these cycles is not a simple task. It requires determination, self-awareness, and the courage to face and transform our internal and external realities. A negative cycle can be compared to a Ferris wheel that spins incessantly, carrying us in a constant motion that always brings us back to the same point. To interrupt this motion and get off the wheel, we first need to recognize that we are trapped and identify the patterns that keep us on it. This can include destructive habits, limiting beliefs about ourselves and the world, or even toxic relationships that drain our energy and self-esteem. Once these patterns are identified, the next step is to develop conscious strategies to confront them. This can involve practicing mindfulness, which helps us to be present in the moment and to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. Through mindfulness, we learn to recognize when we are following negative patterns and to choose healthier and more constructive responses. Another powerful strategy is cognitive restructuring, a process by which we challenge and change negative beliefs and thoughts that contribute to the cycle. By replacing these thoughts with others that are more positive and realistic, we can change our emotions and behaviors, paving the way for significant change. Moreover, setting small achievable goals can be extremely effective. Each small success motivates us and reinforces the belief in our ability to change, acting as an antidote against the feeling of powerlessness that often accompanies negative cycles. However, perhaps most importantly, building a solid support system composed of people who encourage us, support us, and help us see the world from a broader and more positive perspective is crucial. Having someone to rely on, who reminds us of our strengths and potential, can be the difference between staying on the wheel or finally taking the step off it. Breaking negative cycles is, in essence, an act of freedom. It's actively choosing a different path, one that leads us towards growth, well-being, and personal fulfillment. It's a reminder that, no matter how deep we are in the pit, there's always a way to climb back to the light, one step at a time. Every experience in life, whether positive or negative, carries with it a wealth of knowledge and understanding. In the process of climbing out of rock bottom, one of the most transformative aspects is the ability to learn from the experience. It's not just about overcoming a difficult moment, but about extracting valuable lessons that shape us, strengthen us, and prepare us for future challenges. Imagine each challenge as a book. Some are difficult reads, full of chapters of pain, doubt, and uncertainty. However, like a book, each experience has something to teach. The difference lies in our willingness to read these experiences, to reflect on them, and absorb the teachings they offer. This process of learning is not just about recognizing mistakes or failures, but about understanding the circumstances that led us to those points and what we can do differently next time. Learning from experience is also about recognizing our own resilience. It's looking back and realizing how many times we've been able to stand up, even when it seemed impossible. Each time we do this, we reinforce our ability to face adversities, building a solid foundation of trust and self-efficacy. This foundation not only helps us to face new challenges, but also encourages us to seek growth and personal development. Moreover, this learning offers us the opportunity for empathy and connection with others. By sharing our stories, our struggles, and what we've learned from them, we can inspire and support those who may be going through similar situations. This exchange of experiences strengthens bonds, creates support communities, and reminds us that, although our journeys are unique, we are not alone in our struggles. Learning from experience allows us a broader view of life. It teaches us to value not just the moments of joy and success, but also to find meaning and purpose in difficulties. This broader perspective is essential for a full and satisfying life, as it allows us to navigate the world with greater wisdom, compassion, and gratitude. Therefore, as you look back and reflect on the experiences lived at rock bottom, remember that each one contributes to your growth and evolution. Learning from these experiences is not just a matter of survival, but a path to a richer, deeper, and more connected life. In a world that often challenges us with its storms, cultivating gratitude is like finding a safe harbor. This simple yet profoundly powerful act has the potential to transform our perspective, our interaction with others, and, fundamentally, the way we experience each moment. Gratitude does not deny the difficulties and challenges. On the contrary, it offers us a lens through which we can see beyond adversities, recognizing the value and beauty that exist even in the most difficult situations. Cultivating gratitude begins with acknowledging the things for which we are thankful, no matter how small or simple they may seem. It can be something as basic as a sunny day after a week of rain, the company of a loyal friend, or even the comfort of a warm cup of tea. By focusing on these gifts, we begin to build a sense of abundance that can sustain us even in the darkest moments. The practice of gratitude also teaches us to value the hidden lessons in our struggles. When we look back and reflect on the challenging periods of our lives, we often find moments of growth, strength, and resilience that emerged from those experiences. Being grateful for these lessons is not about ignoring the pain or suffering. It's about recognizing that, even in pain, there is potential for beauty and transformation. Besides enriching our own lives, gratitude has the power to strengthen our relationships with others. By expressing gratitude for the people in our lives, we create deeper and more meaningful connections. Gratitude encourages us to look at others with kindness and appreciation, reminding us that we are all together on this journey, sharing both our joys and our sorrows. A simple practice to cultivate gratitude is to keep a gratitude journal. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect and write down 3 things for which you are grateful. Over time, this practice can transform your perception, making you more aware of the many blessings that surround your life, even if they are often overshadowed by the clouds of daily challenges. Cultivating gratitude is an act of rebellion against despair, an affirmation that, despite everything, there is always something to be grateful for. It's a reminder that beauty and goodness exist in our world, waiting to be recognized. And perhaps most importantly, it's a key to unlocking a fuller, richer, and more connected life. A life where every moment is valued and every challenge is seen as an opportunity to grow and give thanks. In our journey to climb out of rock bottom, we often look for grand revelations or monumental changes that can instantly turn the tide. However, it's in the small things, in the nearly imperceptible details of everyday life, that we frequently find the most powerful forces to propel our recovery and growth. These small things act as subtle reminders that beauty, hope, and strength reside in every corner of our existence, waiting just to be noticed and appreciated. Finding strength in small things is learning to cherish the song of birds in the morning, the warmth of the sun on our skin, a kind smile from a stranger, or even the comfort of our own thoughts during moments of quietude. These moments, though brief and simple, have the power to illuminate the darkest corners of our minds, bringing a breath of lightness and joy to our hearts. This appreciation for the small things teaches us to live in the present, to embrace each moment with gratitude and wonder. Instead of getting lost in worries about the future or regrets about the past, we learn to find contentment and satisfaction in the now. This act of full presence is an inexhaustible source of strength, as it helps us to recognize and connect with the essence of life, regardless of the storms that may be roaring around us. Furthermore, by cultivating an appreciation for the small things, we begin to realize that, even in the most difficult moments, there is always something to be grateful for. This shift in perspective not only lightens the load of our challenges, but also opens our heart and mind to the infinite possibilities of transformation and renewal. The practice of finding strength in small things can start with something as simple as taking a daily pause to reflect on the moments of beauty and joy we experience, no matter how minor they may be. This exercise of reflection not only helps us to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, but also reinforces our resilience, reminding us that, no matter how difficult the journey, there are always reasons for hope and joy. Finding strength in small things is an invitation to rediscover the magic of life in its purest form. It's a reminder that even under the most challenging circumstances, we can find light, strength, and inspiration in the simplest and most everyday details. This is the true power of small things, the ability to transform our inner world, encouraging us to move forward with courage, hope, and a renewed appreciation for the beauty of life. Keeping hope alive is perhaps one of the noblest challenges we face, especially in moments when we seem to be enveloped by the darkness of rock bottom. Hope is the light that shines within us, guiding us through uncertainty, inspiring us to believe in the possibility of better days. But how do we keep this flame burning when everything around us seems to conspire to blow it out? The key to keeping hope alive lies in our ability to look beyond the immediate circumstances, to visualize a future where the challenges of the present are mere memories of what we've overcome. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or living in a state of denial, but rather recognizing that the current moment is just a part of a larger journey, a journey that is constantly in flux. Cultivating hope is also a matter of focus. Instead of fixating our attention on the obstacles that lie in our path, we choose to focus on the possibilities that have yet to be explored, on the solutions yet to be found. This involves a certain degree of creativity and imagination, the ability to dream of a future where we've overcome the current challenges and emerged stronger and more resilient. Another vital strategy for keeping hope alive is to surround ourselves with stories and people who exemplify resilience and overcoming. Hearing about or witnessing the journey of others who have faced and overcome adversities can serve as a powerful reminder that we are not alone in our struggle. These stories inspire us to keep fighting, to keep believing, even when the situation seems bleak. Moreover, practicing gratitude can be a powerful tool for fueling hope. By focusing on what we have, instead of lamenting what we lack, we begin to see the world from a more positive perspective. This shift in focus not only improves our emotional well-being, but also reinforces our faith in the ability to overcome adversities. Keeping hope alive is a choice. It's the decision to continue believing in the possibility of change, in the capacity for healing, and in the power of human resilience. It's an act of courage, a testament to the indomitable strength of the human spirit. Keeping hope alive is, at its core, believing in tomorrow, and in our ability to shape that tomorrow with our actions and choices today. And by making this choice, we open the doors to infinite possibilities, keeping the flame of hope alive, even in the darkest moments. I hope this message has been helpful to you. Don't forget to leave a like, share this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.